There's one. Oh my gosh, what is that? I think it's a gar. I don't know what this is. I don't think it's a gar.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Trimmed Up series. We are here in Virginia, stage 6 of the Bass Pro Tour on the James River. This episode of the Trimmed Up series is sponsored by General Tire. I run the Grabber X3s on mine, so if you guys are looking for your car, truck, or small SUV tire, make sure you check out generaltire.com. They've got a tire finder. I'm gonna link it below. You enter in the make, model, and year of your vehicle. It's gonna help you find the perfect tire for you. So make sure you guys check them out. Support the channel, support General Tire. Let's get to the video. The James River, it is a big, big place. Where we're allowed to fish, where it turns into a boatable river, is here in Richmond, Virginia, and it runs all the way in to the Chesapeake Bay. So it is a tidal fishery. You've got anywhere, depending on the season, the winds, the moon, you've got anywhere from a 2.5 to 3.5 foot tide. So it is a game of timing, chasing the tide, and also being around a lot of fish. One thing about this week is it is hot. One of the hottest places I've ever fished. The fishing, not that grindy. It is fabulous this week when it comes to getting bites. It is by far the best I've ever seen the James River fish. It's been 8 or 10 years since I've been here. As soon as practice starts though, it's just bite over here, bite over there, bite over there. And in a way, those are the most difficult tournaments in an every fish counts format because you just can't miss. You can't make a bad decision. You can't get behind. You can't afford to struggle. It's an intimidating place just because it's tidal. We don't fish a whole lot of tidal events. This one here, the tide is king. And with 2 good days of practice, let's get out to day number 3 on the James River.
Keep water on it, non-floatable. And you probably score.
All right, let's get out of here.
Oh, that was a catfish. There's a ton of catfish under these docks. So, I told you they were catfish. I could tell by the way they were biting. Yeah. A bunch of these little things under docks. Welcome to the James River. Well, you come here at low tide and there's so many catfish, they just backs be sticking out of the water.
Probably gonna go get stuck is what we're about to do. You never know, this has been sitting in my truck for like 4 months. We're out here on the James River, more specifically the Chickahominy River, which feeds into the James. Trying to fish good tides, trying to fish good areas, trying to fish good cover. And if you can do all 3 of those things at the right time this week, you have a good week. That's what's tricky about tidal fishers. You can do the right thing at the wrong time and get sent home because of that.
Try it again.
This little line right here, that's from somebody trying to get up on pad in the mud. I'm guessing they did it at high tide too because, ooh, man, it's shallow right here. All right, let's fish right here. Hopefully we can get back. If we can get in this creek in one of these turns, we can probably get on pad and run out of here. If we can't get on pad and run out of here, it's a long idle out. There we go. Now we have water. On tidal fisheries, there's usually specific bite windows, certain tides that you look for. And it's this way on a lot of fisheries, but especially on the James, it's low tides. Either the last foot of the falling tide and the first foot of the incoming tide is the best. Mostly because it's just so flat and they have so many options when it's up. At high tide, there's a foot and a half of water and all this stuff, and they can just kind of get lost. And whenever the tide's down, it tends to pull them out and group them up on specific pieces of cover. And the James is a big system. I mean, hypothetically, you can run a tide. If the tide's bad at the Chickahominy, it's good up in Richmond. Now that's a 40-minute boat ride from here. You kind of got to make the decision. Do you want to run the tide and maximize your good fishing time, or do you want to just play it safe, hunker down in an area that has fish and maximize your overall fishing time, knowing that part of your day is going to be spent grinding around trying to make fish bite or find fish. And honestly though, the James it's fishing really good this week, really showing out more than I've ever seen it. I mean, just numbers of bites. Now they're not lots of big ones, but it's been fairly easy to generate bites this week, and that's scary. You're gonna have to have some areas that you can just put the trolling motor down and catch fish. And I mean, we've found a few of those this week, but it's been a long time since I fished a largemouth derby where you're gonna have to generate this many bites to do well. And It's a little intimidating.
Rop, 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 rop.
Now, if I'm gonna get this back.
I might be breaking off.
I already broke a rod trying to do this week. Will you jump in and get that for me?
There's a keeper. That goes to £1.8, don't he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess £1.9 is what I'm guessing. Oh, he's like a 153, is what I'm gonna say. 160, he's a 1.9. There we go. Well, I think that's our second scoreable, isn't it? Didn't we catch one earlier that was probably about that size? Not on fire though. Has been a slow morning so far. But we're covering a ton of water. Throwing a buzzbait right now with a bellow shad on the back of it. Just trying to see if I can find an area to come grind around in. There's a lot of high percentage places that, you know, I can go get a bite. I don't know how big he's gonna be, but I can just go generate one bite. And so what we're trying to do now is try to find an area that like I can come spend some time if, you know, stuff really goes south. It's hard to, you know, if you're not having a good day, it's hard to just run and gun, especially on a tidal fishery. So I need to have somewhere that like, hey, there's a good population of bass around, just slow down. And I think I have that in the area I'm gonna start in. When I leave that area, I'm gonna come to the Chickahominy. For now, just try to fish isolated stuff, and which I think would work on most days, but man, if you get in a bad rotation and I'm fishing behind guys or a bunch of guys fish all my stuff the day before I get out there, it's just like, that could go south fast. So I'm trying to kind of find a security blanket. Well, it looks, there's scattered grass and it is less than a foot deep right here. And so we got a falling tide and you got a big flat with some little bit of scattered grass and just covering some water out here with a buzzbait. And it looks silly, I know, but it's about all you can do. Like, it's that shallow.
Feels like the day's like
Wasting by already.
I mean, I haven't found anything yet I want to make a cast at. I never catch them when I see this. All those are all gar. Unscorable. I need to get a new billow shad, but I'm trying to make this one last, and it is not gonna last. This is no good. Man, there's a dang big one right here. If we get this kind of weather to start, they will really catch them tomorrow.
That's not a short.
Oh, he is a short. Golly, what a blow up. I thought that was gonna be like a 3 or 4 pounder. Yeah. Little one. That right there is what you come to the James River for.
I'm gonna fish these couple pieces of wood right here. If we catch some good ones, we'll keep going, but I'm about ready to get out of this creek. If half the bites we were getting were scoreable, I would definitely keep going and want to fish more, but you know, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 is not enough to keep me interested. I'm already kind of thinking how we're gonna need to find a different creek. Not saying somebody won't catch them in here, because there's a lot of fish in here, but it's just not for me.
Keeper. Barely a keeper. Big jumps.
I wouldn't say barely.
That's a little more than barely. He's like 2 1/4. He's fat. And do we keep going? Does that suck us in to keep going? Well, maybe go a little further anyway.
Cut. How's it going, guys? Alton's whipping out the toilet paper, and he told me to watch the trees. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Turn that camera off.
The camera's not going. He made me cut out a poop sequence out of the last video. So y'all missed out. You can blame him.
Fat one. Ooh. I would take about 15 of those the first day. Only problem is we've only caught 3 of these so far. Nice. Buzzbait, bellow shad, sponsor plug, get you some.
No. That's not good.
Long ways.
That is a long way, isn't it? I don't think I got enough.
All right, we're gonna pull her back. We're almost there.
It's in a really bad spot with where I threw it. And it's not like you can just get out on the dock and go get it. Ha-ha! We got it. Let's get out of here before the dock owner yells at me. Definitely the biggest W of the day right there. That's a nice fish.
the board again. And I'll take a waypoint right here. I hadn't caught many, I mean, I've had a bite or two, but I hadn't caught many off cypress trees. I think up here, having the right tide is more important because you have more grass and all that. I got one, but I'm not setting the hook right now. Not very big. It's the problem when you come up here, they turn into these. Like even, you know, that's even smaller than what we're catching on buzzbait and stuff. It's weird, you run up here, you catch more, but they get smaller, but you also have your best chance to catch a really big one up here, which makes absolutely no sense, but that's just how it is. So where we're at right now, it is low tide, and I mean, there's this much water in the pads, and it goes to 0 inches of water very quick. And you can see why with an extra 2.5+ feet of water, why it'd be very hard to get a bite at high tide, because they can just disappear back in that stuff. I mean, they go sit on that cypress tree back there if they want to. I think the more cover you have, the more important the tide is. Like if you're fishing really isolated stuff, I think they're just kind of going to be there. But in a target-rich environment, timing and tide is going to be very, very important. I actually thought that was, I kind of jumped. I thought that was a real person there. Not a bad fish at all. Would you believe me if I told you there was 10 of them? This jerkbait's only got like 5 of the 9 hooks on it. But when they eat it like that, it don't matter. Oh man, you know, we've actually, what would you say? We spent like an hour idling probably. Hadn't really found much that excited me. And just rolled over a brush pile right there, just down a flat bank, and panned my stuff over there and threw jerkbait, and there was a bunch of them right there. I mean, it's a spot you can come back to and get a bite. I'm telling you that right now. There's one. Oh my gosh, what is that? It's not a bass. I think it's a gar. I don't know what this is. I don't think it's a gar. Oh, he come off. Did you see that thing?
Yeah.
It was like that big around.
Yeah,
it wasn't a gar.
wait.
It wasn't a gar. What was that? I'm pissed. I wanted to see that. You know what I'm talking about? They look kind of like a bass. They got the one big stripe down them.
Snakehead?
No. Saltwater fish. Snook.
Oh, snook.
I know that's not what it was, but that's what it kind of looked like actually. But I know that wasn't what it was.
I guess we'll never know.
Is it a shark? I mean, this is wicked.
Oh gosh. You know what I mean?
You're not seeing what you think you're seeing. This is a pretty sick little setup. This is actually the first time I've ever done that. So we've got forward, perspective, looking for brush. And the piles are so small, like I was just telling Tyler, you know, I don't know if I would have actually stopped on that last pile where I just caught a fish had I not seen it on forward first. Oh yeah, look, see, there's some fish sitting on that too. Pretty cool, huh? On to the next one. Mark. Just run right over it and drop a waypoint on it.
Unreal.
I'm reeling it away from that one. That's a dang good one. That's a good fish. There we go. That's kind of what I was hoping would happen. I don't know what to say about that one. I was just kind of, there was like something there. I guess it's a brush pile. That's over 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3 plus.
You almost hooked me.
Wow. You can really dance. So right here we talk about the tides. Here's a good visual representation of what we're looking at. So the high tide at 3.1 feet. Low is actually below low at -1 feet, or 0.1. You look at the swings that we're dealing with. I mean, the water's constantly up and down and up and down. And really this zone right here is what we're looking to fish. That bottom foot really of incoming. Outgoing's a little better, I think, but incoming and outgoing. And then these zones are what I'd consider dead zones in my opinion. I mean, comparatively, not to say you can't catch them then, but you know, I can look at other tide zones for different areas and they're going to be, you know, 30 to 50 minutes apart depending on where I'm at. But when you hear us talk about fishing a good tide, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's you know, trying to make sure you're in your best areas at the best tide is really, really important. I hate dispensing depth fluid this way. This little thing, this little nozzle right here, never works. It just ends up spilling on your shoes. Luckily, these Rockies are fast draining. Hey, it wasn't why we designed it that way, but it's just one of the perks, you know? We win like 7 red crests so we can buy one. Where are we going? We're going to the tackle store. We gotta get some chatterbaits because of the barnacles. That just blows my mind that they have locks on jackhammers. I mean, I get it. But, I mean, this ain't like 2017. Sorry, Jacob. No locks on your Crush City stuff. You haven't made it yet. We'll do 3 of this one right here, and then that'll be it on those. Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. I don't even want to look at Score Tracker. So the scariest tournaments are ones where guys just smash them, and they're smashing them this week. Let's see. Jacob Wheeler's on top of 75 pounds. 75? Yes. He's got a 30-pound lead over second. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, 75? I can't lock the door until you close your door. We're going to Chipotle, but close your door so I can lock the door. I need a good line storage. Anybody in the comments? How do you store your line? I've stored it in bags, boxes, bins.
Bags, boxes, and bins. What other B's do we have? Biscuits.
Bushels. I've never stored it in a biscuit. Might need to try it. Maybe it'll work. So you can see by all the rods, we're really dialed. We know exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, SpongeBob, that was like a swear word. Oh, barnacles. Talk about AOI. Jacob's having a great season, isn't he? So we're in second angler of the year, behind Jacob by 14 points. Jacob's in Group A, I'm in Group B. He is 30 pounds ahead of second place. So he's in first. Dude is the best right now, so not surprised. And you know, it's a long week, but man, they caught him really, really good today. So just surviving to the knockout round is not easy. Like, this is going to be one of the most difficult all year. Like, Eufaula was really difficult because it was such a grind. This place is going to be really difficult because fishing's so good and everybody's catching them. Realistically, my goal is to catch like 15 bass tomorrow. If I catch more than that, great. I mean, a lot of guys caught 20, 22 bass, but my practice hasn't reflected that. Now, it's possible that one of my places that, you know, I had a bite or two, I go back to and I get 7 or 8 bites there and they're all scorables, then we can have one of those days. And I'm sure somewhere in something I fished is that way. Do I even hit it tomorrow? Do I know? Because, you know, you're just really doing a baseline sample in practice. I'm really just thinking of how I'm going to survive this event. I know that sounds bad. In the realm of Angler of the Year, how am I going to survive? And that means how am I going to catch a bunch of fish tomorrow? And then do it day after day. Thank you guys for watching the practice video from the James River. If you like what you saw, we've got a lot of other trimmed up content out there. Make sure you click up in one of these corners. Tyler's gonna put it somewhere. Stage 5, Chickahominy River. We caught some big ones. Made a top 10. It's a fun video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all out on the James day 1.